Hi class and welcome to my Lab 5.2 video. In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating two ways that we could hack a database, okay? This is going to be a web application database. I'm going to be doing the penetration test or penetration hacking through the DVMA app as well as the Matilda app. As I mentioned previously in my videos, the Matilda and DVMA app are both hosted on my Metasploitable 2 box, so I'm going to pull that up. In order to get Matilda to work, when I first started testing this, I couldn't get the database to actually work properly. So I did some research and found out that I had to actually change the Matilda config file. And what had to be changed is this last line had to be changed to OWASP 10. Okay, so I made that change. Now let's go over to my Kali box where I'm logged into Metasploitable 2. We'll go to Matilda. We'll go to OWASP.10. I want to do an injection test and I want to extract data. Okay. Now, in order to test these databases, we really want to try and put in some erroneous information and see how the database handles it. So what I did some research and found out what the special characters are that shouldn't be used in SQL. And those are shown right here. So I decided, that I'm going to just use these characters as a username to see how the database reacts. So I'm just going to paste them in here. View account details, and we get some more information down here. We get some errors. We get a message error extracting query. You have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to MySQL Server version for the right syntax to use near. If we see right here, this is actually the same password that I entered. See if I could make them, yeah, here we go. So this is that same password that same username that I entered earlier. And also we have this select from accounts where username's equal to that. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste this. Just to make it a little easier to see what's going on. And I'm going to copy and paste the select line as well. And also we could see right here that it came back. There's an error in the SQL syntax. So this is telling us right here, there's an error that the server is running SQL, okay? So it's an SQL database server. So now that we have this information, let's start eliminating things what we don't need. So it says here we have an error that corresponds to MySQL version. User near. If we see here, this is all the information. Or let's actually look at this. It's a little easier. The username is equal to all this, which is the same as the information that I entered as a username. So we don't even need this really. That's really just erroneous information at this point. And password could be equal to anything. So we want to make this statement true in order to get into the database, okay? In order to make this true, let's come up with a true statement for the username first. Being that I'm going to be putting a string in, I'm going to do the double quotes, Z equals Z. Okay, so now we know Z is always equal to Z. We have to figure out what to do with this password. And I had to do a little research also to find out, how it's gonna stop going on to the password. So from the research that I did, it suggested to put a comment at the end. Okay, and After doing that research, I decided to see what, SQL comments, what could be used for SQL comments. And I'll pull up what I found. We could see here, um, we could use a pound sign or pound character. We could do double slashes with space in between them, forward slash asterisk, asterisk forward slash. So in the essence of time, I just decided that I'm going to use the hash sign. And we'll just end that whole string. So this is going to say everything should z is equal to z. Then we just want to add comments. So it should be expecting more information, but it's not going to be providing any information. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste this into our database or into our username now. Let's see, where did I mess up? I think I did a little fat finger, so let me just copy what I ran earlier. Here we go. And by entering that information, we could hear pretty much we got a dump now of, well, 16 records, usernames and passwords. Okay, so by starting out in the username field, entering special characters, the server pretty much didn't know what to do with it. So it returned us some information saying that it was an SQL server. And then we got some other information, what was expecting to be put in the fields. And we conformed, to make the statements true. So that's how I was able to hack this database. And for the other hack, I'm going to use our application, our DVWA. Okay, and for the DVWA, I want to try a little something different. So we're going to do an upload. But some research I was doing, this doesn't have to be an image file. There's ways of editing this. So it could be a script instead. It got a little too complex for me to try. So it's definitely something I want to look at a little further later on down the line. So, but then I was also thinking, if I upload an image, how am I going to know that it's actually been uploaded? So for more research that I did, I found out that there's an application built into Kali that can be used as a proxy. It's called Burp Suite. So I'm going to pull that up. I don't need to do upgrades right now. Next. Stop. Okay, we're going to go to proxy. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to here. Let's go back to our web browser. And I'm going to have to point the web browser proxy to point to the Burp Suite. So I'm going to go there. Let's go to settings. We'll go to manual proxy set to 127.0.0.1 port 8080. We'll do OK on that. So now I'm going to browse for a file that I want to upload. Here's a little photo that I want to send over to the database. Let's click upload, and you can see right here, Burp Suite actually came back. Being that's acting as a proxy, it pretty much intercepted all the information. So you could see here the name of the file, that it's a JPEG, image JPEG. Okay, so that's really confirming that the file was actually sent over. All right, so that's really confirming that the file was sent over to the database. And just to make this a little more fun, let me show you everybody the picture that I picked. seconds. And here we go. It's just a picture of what everybody thinks a hacker looks like. Alrighty, that's going to be it for this lab. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.